What's up, guys? Welcome to Far From Blake, and today we have a little bit of a different video. I am reacting to Cody Leach's reaction of my hottest Halloween take. Let's talk about it. First off, thank you, Cody Leach, if you happen to watch this video by some crazy chance, for reacting to my hot take. I was going through his video for about a week or so. It's a longer video, and I was just watching clip by clip, and right around the hour and 14 mark, if you want to go check it out, I will put a link in the description. His video, it's a great video to check out, and if you want to hear word for word what he said, an hour and 14 is where my hot take is. I'm not going to put his clips in here because I don't know what the copyright stuff goes behind that. So I'm just going to read my thing and we'll talk about it. Okay, so here's the hot take that Cody Leach read on his video that I made on Twitter. The only thing that stops Halloween 4 from being clearly the best in the franchise is the mask situation. I'd argue H20 would have a good argument as well if the mask was better. Alright, let's talk about it. Thank you, Cody Leach, for reading that, and I want to say that as I was watching this video, I was watching it on my TV on YouTube, and I was at a point where I was kind of zoning out. I was like playing on my phone just listening, and then I just randomly hear him go, "Far From Blake," and I like shot up. I'm like, oh, wow, because at this point, I didn't think I was going to get reacted to, and I got really scared because I sent out a couple hot takes on Twitter, and I had no idea which one he was about to read. So when it started off and it said the only thing that stops Halloween 4 from being clearly, now when he emphasized clearly, at this point I completely forgot what I even said, to be honest with you, because I saw the video much later and the tweet was from October 20th. So in that time, I kind of forgot what he was even about to read. And as he was reading and said clearly, I was just like, oh man, he's going to roast me so hard for this. And I got nervous. But to my surprise, he actually didn't really, I mean, he didn't at all roast me. He actually was very interested in that topic and pretty much agreed with me. He didn't agree with me that Halloween 4 would be clearly the best. I'm not going to lie, I used strong language hoping that it would gain some sort of attention. But there is a part of me that does believe it. I am a Halloween 4 purist. That's the one I have the most nostalgia for. I mean, I have nostalgia for the original, but I grew up as a kid watching Halloween 4 constantly on TV. Right around the time, or even before the time of that age, when I was watching Halloween 4, I could always relate to Jamie Lloyd's character because when I was watching these movies, I was a little kid. So I was really invested in Jamie and her journey because as a kid, I was like, wow, Michael Myers is going after her. He can go after me too. To me, Halloween 4 is just a perfect Halloween movie. It sets the autumn and October feel right from the opening scenes, the opening credits. Everyone always talks about how great it is. You know, there's a lot of people that do believe Jamie Lloyd and Rachel are possibly better than Laurie Strode in the original version. And there's a lot of people like myself, I think this might be Dr. Loomis's best performance. I mean, he's great in the original, don't get me wrong. He has some amazing lines like the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, and all that. But he is just so absolutely insane in this movie, but not in a too far way like Halloween 5, in the perfect way for this movie, with the scars on his face and the turmoil that he's been through. He's just so spectacular, especially that final sequence, his performance, awesome. H20, on the other hand, I didn't grow up a huge H20 fan. I didn't really grow up watching it that often, but in my adult years, the last few years, I grow to like it more and more every time I watch it. I love the characters, I love the pace, and I love the story. It's my favorite version of Laurie Strode. I think that final act is spectacular. And don't get me wrong, the original is amazing with the music and the score. And I'm not saying that I definitely like these other two movies better or not. The argument for the hot take's sake is that I feel like if the mask situation was better in a lot of these movies, but especially Halloween 4 and H20, the stories for both of them are perfect in a sense and really capture a lot. If Michael was perfect or had a better mask, like if you had, I mean, Halloween 4, you have George P. Wilbur, and Halloween 6, you have George P. Wilbur. And The mask is completely different. The Halloween 6 Michael Myers is one of the best Michael Myers in the franchise. If you replace that in Halloween 4, I mean, talk about the difference, or even just the mask. It's played by the same actor too, which is really frustrating. H2O actually starts with that mask in the beginning of the movie. It's like a variation, but it's basically just like the Halloween 6 mask. If they kept that mask the entire time, I mean, the possibilities of it being in the conversation, and that's the key, being in the conversation to be the best in the franchise, that's what it's missing. I bring it up for argument's sakes because in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, it's a debate. What's better, the first movie, the original, or Dream Warriors? In Friday the 13th, there's a debate. Is it part 2? Is it part 4? Is it part 6? It is a debate. In Halloween, most of the time you see in everyone's rankings, they always put the original at the top. No brainer, no questions asked. You don't even dare believe that it could be otherwise. And then it's a race for second place. Which is a shame, because I like a lot of these sequels. I love a lot of these sequels. Like I said, I believe H2O and Halloween 4 are probably the best categories that really are held back just from the mask situation, which is like, how do you mess that up? I mean, the mask situation is so bad in both of them. Halloween 4, I didn't really notice how bad it was as a kid. It's when I became an adult, saw it from a different perspective, and I saw everyone else online point it out. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, it is completely different than the normal original mask. And then H2O, I mean, you have 4 different masks in the movies. All of them are bad. H2O has his eyes showing as the best mask in the movie, if you ignore the opening scene, the Halloween 6 comparison one. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting at. And it's funny, I thought I was going to get roasted for saying Halloween 4 is definitely the best or H2O, because so many people love the original. But this is what I love about Cody Leach. He is nuanced, even though there is certain hot takes in that video he did roast. And that's why I said, I was like, he might just come for me crazy, like clearly. I know saying clearly the best is kind of like out there, but I do think it is an argument that it should be in the conversation if the mask situation was better. I already think it's in the conversation right now. The only argument I can't defend is the mask. So if I tell you, oh, Halloween 4 or H2O are almost as good or just as good or better in this way, they'll just be like, yeah, but the mask sucks. And that's such a shame. Check out Cody Leach's exact reactions, because I don't want to quote him exactly wrong, but he talked about the nuances of how important the Michael Myers mask is and getting that right. That's the one thing about the David Gordon Green trilogy that they mastered. I think the 2018 mask is perfect. I mean, why couldn't they have done stuff like that throughout the franchise? Why do we have stuff like Halloween 4, Halloween 5? I think Halloween 5 is even worse than H2O and Halloween 4. It's ridiculous how much they messed this up. Thank you, Cody Leach, for reacting to my hot take. Thank you that you saw my point of view. You didn't fully agree that Halloween 4 would be clearly the best. You thought that H2O would have a better argument, which I get it. H2O is a great movie. I really do grow to like it more and more. I have more of a problem with H2O's mask situation, so maybe that's why I think the eyeballs is way more unforgivable. On top of the fact that there's 4 other masks in the movies, plus a CGI mask that looks ridiculous. And if it wasn't for YouTube, I don't know how long it would take me to notice, because I didn't notice until I joined the YouTube community. And now that you see it, it's like, wow, that's bad. But I actually think the K and B mask is even worse than the ones with the eyeballs. I'd rather have the ones with the eyeballs than the K and B. That's how ridiculous these masks are in this movie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up. I just thought it would be a cool idea to react to one of my favorite YouTubers who reacted to one of my hot takes of Halloween. It's not necessarily my hottest take in Halloween. I mean, it might be. It depends on how much you care about saying the original or nothing. You know what I mean? But if you don't really care about that and you like the sequels and you like the idea of, well, yeah, I mean, if the mask was different, who knows? Would it change my perspective? I think it would change your perspective. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out Cody Leach's video. It's a really fun video to check out. He talks about multiple hot takes from a bunch of different people for over an hour and a half on the Halloween franchise. If you like the Halloween movies, it's gold. It's a great discussion to talk about. All different kinds of variations of fans liking different things. Alright, that's it. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.